Oh, welcome back to the Great Rabbino. I'm here with Jeremy Growe, who is an assistant head coach at Furman. Jeremy, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jeremy. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. My phone just went off. Somehow it connected to my watch, and I don't know how to undo it. I'm not. People think I'm tech savvy because I have a blog, but it's just not true. I'm more than my parents, but
I get that a lot. People say I'm a younger coach and I'm terrible with technology, so I understand that.
fair enough. So let's just hear about yourself. Where'd you grow up? How'd you get into the world of coaching basketball?
Yeah, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. Fell in love with basketball at a really young age. I grew up a diehard Indiana basketball fan. My dad went to Indiana and was there, graduated in 75. So in terms of a timeline, Indiana went undefeated in 76. So, big time in terms of the history and era of Indiana basketball. So he got me hooked at a really, really young age. Played basketball, from kindergarten up all the way through high school. Probably realized I wanted to coach in middle school, and kind of reality set in about junior year, senior year of high school. I wasn't going to be good enough to play at the college level. I was an average high school basketball player at best. And especially now, as I've gotten away from it, I thought I was a lot better then, than I know now. And so, taking my love for Indiana basketball and as well as understanding that the history of Indiana basketball managers becoming college basketball coaches. I went to Indiana, one, loved the university, and then two, to really become a manager at Indiana for the team to try to work my way up and see what happened. And to be honest with you, at that time, I really had no idea what I was getting myself into. I just knew I wanted to be part of the program.
Awesome. Yeah, obviously a great program there, historic program, although maybe they could use you. They haven't been so great over the last, much to the chagrin of Hoosier basketball fans and Mark Cuban alike, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. I'm sure they'll get it rolling again here soon.
Yeah. So let's talk about, then you were at Xavier for a while. You won a Big East championship in 2018. What did that experience at Xavier mean to you? Obviously, a large program, perennially really competitive and very good. What did that do to your career?
I was really, really fortunate. When I was a student manager at Indiana, the video coordinator was a guy by the name of Travis Steele, who's currently the head coach at Xavier. And so, when unfortunately things got a little crazy at Indiana, Coach Sampson got let go, staff dispersed. Travis, this has been after my junior year of college when Coach Sampson got let go. Um, Travis went to Xavier to be the director of operations for Sean Miller, and he did that for a year. And then once I graduated college, Sean Miller left Xavier to go to to go to Arizona. And at that time, Chris Mack was the assistant coach. They promoted him. Coach Mack promoted Trav. And as I was graduating college, and Travis just said, "Hey, you should hire this guy." And so I was really, really lucky. Right time, right place. Was able to go there as Coach Mack was taking over the program, new staff, really ingrain myself. And Xavier's a really, really special place. It's crazy. The basketball program is really the front porch of the university, and it's a small private Jesuit institution. There's about 4,000 undergrad students. You can walk across campus in 5 minutes, and then you got the Cintas Center right in the middle, 10,250, sells out every night. I really just grew. I held a lot of different positions over those times. I worked for Coach Mack for 9 years, his whole tenure at Xavier, and we had a lot of success. Went to 8 NCAA tournaments. You talked about a Big East championship. We transitioned from the Atlantic 10 to the Big East, which really almost felt like a new job at that point. And Elite Eight, multiple Sweet 16s. It was an incredible experience just to learn from him and the coaching staff that was there.
We were speaking a little bit before that I got to spend some time in the tunnels of the Final Four. And as cool as it looks on TV, it is that much excitement. The players are that excited to be there. So I imagine those experiences being a coach and watching your players prepare for the Sweet 16 for an Elite Eight is a really special experience.
Absolutely. We went to the Elite Eight in 2017. and just knowing that you're preparing for being 40 minutes away from the opportunity to go to a Final Four. Unfortunately, we fell short, but even the Sweet 16, right? You're there. Hey, you're 40 minutes away from the opportunity to get to a Final Four, that being the pinnacle. Really, really fortunate to experience success like that really at a young age. I mean, a lot of guys spend, 20, 30, 40 years in the business and never get the experiences I got. Really at 22 years old, I was in the Sweet 16. So it was really fortunate.
So you leave Xavier and now you're in Furman, and tell us a little bit about, I'm assuming this is a step up professionally because you're assistant head coach. That's a big job. For those who don't know, it's not like you just become a head coach. I'm sure people out of college think that that's what you do nowadays because people want to be CEOs immediately, but there's a ladder and you work yourself up. So this is definitely a step up, even though it might not have the recognition of Xavier. It's certainly a step up. So tell us about what you're doing there and how the team looks.
Yeah, I ended up spending 10 years at Xavier. So Travis Steele became the head coach at Xavier. I stayed one more with him. I really didn't plan on leaving Xavier. Travis and I he's probably my best friend and very, very close. And I was only going to leave. I really didn't have any thoughts about leaving. I was only going to leave for a really, really special opportunity. And I felt like Furman was that. I came here in 2019, and back the season before, Furman had upset Villanova, had won at Loyola right off the Final Four, and was ranked top 25 in the country most of the year. And if you followed bracketology that year, they were one of the first teams out of the NCAA tournament coming from the SoCon. And I just felt like for me professionally, a chance to grow and get better and, advance my career at the same time, it was probably a no-brainer. So this is my third season here at Furman. I work for Bob Ritchie, who is an incredible, young head coach. Bob's only 38 years old, and he's done an absolutely incredible job here. And we're off to a really good start. We just dropped a tough one at North Carolina last night. We had those guys tied at halftime. Just couldn't sustain the effort. We've had one of the toughest non-conference schedules in the country. We won at Louisville to start the year, game 2, and we've got a really special group, hardworking group. We're really skilled offensively. We've got a bunch of tough guys, and our non-conference has been really tough, and we're hoping that that's going to prepare us for the Southern Conference once we get in the regular season. The SoCon has become one of the top mid-major leagues in the country. Analytically, if you look at it right now, we're 10th in the net as a conference. There's 32 conferences in the country, so you're talking about your Power 5, your Big East, American. The WCC is ahead of us, but right now, as it stands today, the SoCon's higher than the Atlantic 10. SoCon, as of last week, I got to check it, we were higher than the American. Last year we finished 9th in the net, and it's become one of the premier leagues in the country at the mid-major level. There's 357 Division I teams. As it stood before yesterday, there was only one of the 10 outside the net top 200 team. So every night's a war. There's great coaching. So I think we got an opportunity to really compete for a title this year. It's obviously we're going to have a lot of competition to do that, and we're going to have to play really good basketball, but we're definitely excited for this year.
So tell us your goals, because it looks like to me, and I'm foreshadowing the future, it looks like that head coaching job is not too far away for you. You seem to have the credentials, you have the experience, you certainly have the patience. So is that the goal, to be a head coach somewhere one day? Is it, or you love your role some people just love being the assistant coach?
No, absolutely. I definitely have aspirations to be a head coach. But, for me, I'm just worried about, can we get our guys better today? And that's the only thing you can worry about. And Coach Mack, worked for him for a long time, always said, just crush it where you're at. That's kind of been my whole thing. I always just try to do the best job for my head coach, for our players, and the rest of it will lie where it lies. Obviously I do have aspirations to get there one day, but it's not what consumes me. What consumes me is just making sure these guys are getting better as people and players every single day.
Awesome. Well, Jeremy, we're going to see you down the road. I appreciate your time, and we're going to watch Furman this year, and we're going to watch your career going, my guess is this way. So congratulations on all the success.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Of course.